Well, I've been joined by Lydia Hislop and Steve Mellish, the old team back together again, eh?
It's good to see you. Looking taller and younger as well.
Very much so. Bringing the age down again, the average age back down to a respectable level.
We're assessing your birthday every year.
You missed me, didn't you?
I did.
Look at Steve's face, he's so excited to have me back.
I had only just noticed, Rish, for a second. But it's a thrill.
More importantly, we're excited about the return to action of Frankel in the Juddmonte International. It's the first time we'll be seeing him over 10 furlongs. Before we hear from Lydia and Steve, let's find out what Teddy Grimthorpe, the racing manager to Prince Khaled Abdullah, makes of it all.
Were you excited about the challenge of stepping up to 10 furlongs?
Absolutely, for a lot of good reasons. Obviously, this is the 22nd year that Prince Khaled sponsored the race. It's been his flagship race for all that time, and to bring his flagship horse to that race is really a dream come true. Now he has matured both mentally and physically, and he's settled. He's with Tom. They've built up a really good relationship now, which is on sort of equal footing, you know, mutual respect. So I think when Tom says go, Frankel now is ready to step up to that.
The perfect world wouldn't be ridden any differently just because he's stepping up in distance.
I don't think so. Mainly for two reasons, I would say. One is he's got this tremendous cruising speed. So if you stifle that, then you're stifling part of the best part of him, really. And his stride takes him to where he gets in the race, and so therefore there's no point in anchoring him, or indeed really sort of blasting him off. It just let him in and be in his own natural rhythm.
Are you pretty confident, you'd say?
Yeah, I think now we're at a stage when everyone wants it and everyone's looking forward to it now, and I think, as we said before, Frankel has told Henry and now Henry's told us, and he's ready to make that step up, definitely.
If you were the racing manager of the opposition, what would you do to go, what would your tactics be?
Withdraw at the start.
Well, this is the moment that racing fans around the world have been waiting for. They've been talking about Frankel being brilliant over a mile. To prove his greatness, he had to prove himself over a different distance, and here's the opportunity.
Yeah, whatever happens, he will still be a racing great. You can't do what he did in the Queen Anne and not be a great. Yeah. Clearly he is the greatest miler I've ever seen, and I believe the greatest racehorse I've ever seen. And it depends on what your own personal standards are. Yep. I like durability, and as he said in training as a 4-year-old, he's ticked that box. I like versatility, and so that's what he would be having to prove here. And I think now, having seen him how strong he is at the end of his races, the end of the Queen Anne, end of the Sussex when he barely got out of third gear, but he still took ages and ages, the full length of the track, to pull up. I think he'll get 10 furlongs standing on his head. And
Steve, conceivably, he could be better than we've seen over a mile at 10 furlongs.
Yeah, he's bred to. He's bred to be at least as good. It's hard to imagine he's going to be better because he's reached levels that, you know, horses don't normally reach. But I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be every bit as good, and who knows? It'll just be really exciting to see it. I mean, he's so much more the finished article. He's always had loads of ability, but he settles better now, and you know, he doesn't threaten to beat himself, which is what we were saying a year ago. You know, would he be a bit free? Would he be a bit keen? And I say the form since we last had the show. I mean, the form of his win at Ascot, the Queen Anne, was so fantastic. It'd be a Frank White celebration, who we all remember being, 10, 11 lengths behind him, going and winning one of the major Group 1s in France last time. Incredible. I mean, whatever way you look at form, be it times or collateral form or whatever way you look at it, you cannot escape the conclusion that this is a truly great horse.
Is the step up in trip going to uproot their own tactics in some kind of way in the execution?
Okay, if it does, I'd be surprised, because I think it would be silly. I mean, you know, Henry Cecil's talked a lot about stayers and other horses in the past. Basically, they stay or they don't stay. That's always been his ethos, and he runs horses that way. He's had loads of front runners over the years. He doesn't believe, if you're running a horse over a trip, you've got to believe it will stay. I think they are very confident it will stay. I certainly believe that the tactic should be to go on 2 out, 2.5 out, just over 2 furlongs out, because what he's got, here's the thing that sets him apart to all other horses, it's not a quick turn of foot. I mean, he does go quickly, very quickly, but he sustains it for a couple of furlongs. So it would be foolish to save that trump card until too late in a race. Equally, it would be stupid, in fact, in the St James's Palace, to play it too early, because then you're vulnerable coming back. But I think they've worked that out. York's, it's a long straight here, you've got a long time to get your tactics right. I think they would just try and go on as per normal over 2 furlongs out. If something then happens and he got beat, no one can blame the jockey.
So we have Frankel stepping up from a mile to 10 furlongs, and we've got Sir Nicholas Abbey stepping down from 12 furlongs to 10 furlongs. It's almost the perfect scenario for a clash for the first time between these two.
We've all been looking forward to Frankel stepping up to a mile and a quarter. It becomes irrelevant unless there's some good opposition. I mean, you are talking about, you know, a multiple Group 1 horse winner taking him on, who even, you know, this year alone was very, very impressive winner of the Coronation Cup, and some would argue was unlucky next time in the King George. So this is a genuine, hard-knocking Group 1 horse taking him on.
But Lydia, how good is he over 10 furlongs? Because the last 2 times, or indeed the only 2 times he's raced over 10 furlongs, his form doesn't stack up.
That's definitely true. Like most things with racing, you can come up with other reasons in both cases. One was the first time he was coming back from almost a year off, and the second time it seemed to be a mistake in tactics. Joseph O'Brien gave St Nicholas Abbey too much to do. Yeah. However, at the same time, I do think the horse is better over 12 furlongs than 10 furlongs. So yes, I think he's going to be vulnerable.
And if you were Aidan O'Brien and Joseph O'Brien, what would you be doing? What would be the best option to come up with of how you ride St Nicholas Abbey to beat Frankel? Would you be aggressive? Would you be sitting on the tail of Bullet Train and kicking for home?
I think you'd want a really strong pace, first of all, because I think your strength is stamina, and at the moment the one unproven, whatever we might say, is Frankel's stamina. So you want a strong pace, and I would think they'd be thinking of committing somewhere. I would think. I can't see the point in sitting on a top-class miler and trying to do him for a turn of foot. I can't see the point of that.
Listen, Joseph, you're going to have to ride him prominently.
Well, Farhh has proven himself in Group 1 company this season, although he's come up against some mighty horses in Frankel and Nathaniel. He's owned by Godolphin, and their racing manager is Simon Crisford.
So what did you make of his Goodwood run?
Well, I didn't think he ran as well as he did at Ascot and at Sandown. Myself.
I agree.
And I put that down to the trip more than anything. I think we've established that mile and a quarter is a good trip for him.
He didn't travel like he normally does. I wonder if Goodwood itself completely suits him, you know, the undulations of Goodwood.
I would agree with you there. And maybe the horse wasn't in as good form as he had been at when he ran in the Eclipse. I mean, the Coral Eclipse was a hard race for him. I mean, a really tough race. And it might have taken a little bit more out of him than we thought.
I thought he was below his best in the Sussex Stakes. I thought he was beaten at such an early stage that I'm not really inclined to blame the mile. Maybe it's 3 very quick Group 1 races. Maybe it was the track. Goodwood's quite tricky. He wouldn't want it to be fast ground, but I doubt it'll be so fast as to be prohibitive to him here at York. And I think he's a place player again.
I do have a theory. I think York will really suit him. I think the long straight, I know we're going back to handicap racing, but Thirsk is not dissimilar. Not identical, it's not dissimilar the way a long straight. And I think for Farhh, you saw it at Ascot, it takes a bit of a while to really hit top gear. And I think you've got plenty of time at York to, Frankie would be riding him to find his stride early in the straight. And he's not like Ascot where you run out of ground, which is what I think happened there.
Well, I think it's quite simple. Frankel will win the Juddmonte International, and he'll win it very easily.
It's Frankel, and I think he's going to do it very, very comfortably. I think they're going to come here and want to show what he's got, and I think he's got plenty over 10 furlongs.
I think it's Frankel, and by a wide margin.